Hello there YouTube, this is fanboy10 here. So, of course today I'm finally back to my halls of residence where I can finally use internet and such. I spent the weekend at my parents' house, so, and they're having their little problems with their cables and such. That's why I didn't see any videos on Saturday. I could have done this on Saturday, but I guess I'll do it now. In fact, I should have done this video first before, the other one. Couldn't resist on that one. So yes, yeah, it was even though I really sort of wanted to go to it, I didn't eventually go to the Liverpool meetup. It's a shame. I do wonder, like, when the next time actually is. I hope to go there. However, I did spend a interesting weekend. Well, interesting Saturday. I spent it at the London Comic Con. Well, they call it the London Comic Con at House of Expo. I call it the Anime Expo. So yeah, just refer to that from now on. Went to so basically went to the Anime Expo. It was really fun. It's really cool, and I bought some really cool stuff. I seriously hope it's recording. Managed to get this Kisuke Uehara. So yeah. Okay, so Monkey D. Luffy and Boa Hancock, and of course a Death Note manga and such. Hope it's still going. Yeah. So yeah, that's what I managed to actually purchase. As for the experience there, it's like when you're there, I think people sort of put forward the more colourful aspects to their personality, and they do this by of course adopting the guise and adopting the persona. Obviously that a guise of a fictional character. I would like to say a few things though. Basically the people are supposed to come with, first of all, the people are supposed to come with are in a sense jackasses. They actually told me to get there by 7:30. The funny thing is, like, the person who said this, I was at their house until 1 in the morning, and I got home, or rather to my parents' house, at around 3 AM. So it was a pretty ridiculous thing to request, and also I got more or less got there before almost everybody else. In fact, when they eventually got there, it was 1 in the afternoon. So yeah, it's a bit. Also, there wasn't that much. They're cool, right? But there wasn't that much communication. Like, poor communication kills. So if they're in a group, they will go off and do something else, which is really annoying when you're trying to look for them. Especially when you're trying to look for them and tell them you're going home. You've done pretty much everything you wanted. I did find something interesting about these sort of events. I think generally, comic book conventions and anime expos, what they tend to do is they tend to bring out the more colourful side to a person, and they do it through basically, for the most part, most people tend to cosplay as a fictional character. So and I also found that when they do this, they tend to be more approachable. To put it in perspective, for my course, I had an assignment to do, is qualitative study, and basically interview people about space or something like people in closed spaces and such. I chose to do it in the mall because I thought it was open enough and I could. The problem with that is that when I did this, I found that a lot of people weren't willing to interview me and such. And that's understandable because like with me, like I certainly wouldn't want someone coming up to me and asking me stuff when I'm busy doing something else. But it wasn't even just that. It was even in a relaxed situation, like when you're with family and such, and you're spending time with your family, and someone asks you if they want an interview for study and such, even if it's for your coursework, they're less willing to participate. At this point, I think what I'll do is I'll pretty much show you the sort of interviews I was having with the cosplays and such. They're pretty interesting. I mean, like, some of these guys could really play their character well. I mean, like, they came up with some of the funniest responses. I'm not entirely sure whether you could discern what was said in it, because, like, of course, it was a really noisy place, and I didn't really take a lot of them to a secluded area so I could understand. No, sorry, I could understand because I was there. I could hear them, but you know, it was basically a really noisy place, and not sure if by playback you'd hear everything that was said. I mean, I certainly heard what was said. So yeah, I'll just basically play it anyway. Just more or less to show complete nerddom and such. So yeah, for now, this is FBoy 10. Stay thoughtful, stay wonderful. Is it go like?
Fun.
Fun.
I got to feed him around a bit.
What was it like when you basically told him to wear that thing and said it had a magic activation?
So I'm trying to think of the most embarrassing thing to say, and it worked, and it did.
So what's the deal between you and Yuichi? Are you an IM?
We're like close friends.
Ah, okay.
Very
Is it
close.
true? I heard rumors that you two like walking around naked together.
Who doesn't? Everyone should do it.
So who's stronger, you or Ishin?
We'll find out one day.
Alright, nice talking to you, Aha. How do you feel about Luffy now after he soundly defeated you?
He didn't defeat me, I just gave up.
Good answer, sir. So, are you in any way upset over you being removed from the Shichibukai?
No.
What's your opinion on your successor, Blackbeard?
He's a cunt.
Do you have any plans now that you're free to roam about and spread your terror across the seas?
It depends if I can be arsed getting off.
So, is it true that Mr. One is the only one out of your subordinates that you actually liked?
No, I like them all. Most of them just pissed me off when they failed.
So why did you impale Miss All Sunday?
Well, she deserved it.
why is it you left pretty much Mr. Seven and Miss Father's Day to die in case they lose against Didi?
Because they pissed me off this morning.
I took notice you allowed Mr. Free to live. Any reason?
Because I didn't like his hairstyle. Come on, look at it. It's stupid.
So Crocodile, do you have any particular plans for the new world now that Whitebeard is dead?
I'm quite depressed by that. I wanted to kill the old bastard myself. Stupid fat bastard.
Do you want to take revenge on Blackbeard in particular for stealing
kill this. That's a sort of as well.
So, do you have any hard feelings towards Luffy?
No, they always an emo now. I just.
Nice interview, Crocodile.
That's alright.
Alright, Sandy, so how does it feel to have so many women around you finally?
I'm a beautiful man surrounded by... Ignore him. I'm a beautiful man surrounded by beautiful ladies, and they are all amazing. Especially Nami Swan and Robin Chuan and Libby's. They're all very nice.
So,
I love them.
So how do you feel about your captain?
Luffy's a bit of an idiot, but I like him anyway, you know. His crew's very nice. It's got, you know, Nami Swan and Robin Chuan.
If out of Nami and Robin, who would you choose?
Oh, that's a hard one. Nami has got that lovely orange hair. Robin Chuan's got that lovely older look. I could pick, but I wouldn't pick a mosshead.
We all know Luffy being the captain is therefore the strongest, but who is really stronger out of you and Zoro?
Stronger out of who, sorry?
You and Zoro.
Out of me and Zoro, I would say me. Mosshead ain't got nothing on my fucking feet. I am the most badass dog ever. He is a loser swordsman by me. Right at the start, I shouted, "Abandon your dreams! We fell into the sea!" I cried. I have been through Okama hell. He went with the swordsman guy again. How is that fair? I ask you. Like my captain going off with hot Amazon chicks. I got stuck with man women. And I had to wear skirts and do this.
By the way, what's the deal between you and Evencom? Are you guys cool?
Oh, yeah, we had a nice talk about coffee and tea. He told me that Bon Clay guy was dead, possibly. I'm not really sure. It's really a shame, really. I mean, he was an asshole, but I checked, you know, everyone dying, it's not very nice. In the end, it was, he gave me some good stuff. Bit of a fucking weirdo, but, you know, it could be worse.
So nice talking to you, Sanji.
Alright, have a good time.
Alright, Zoro. Going now, Zoro. So, you were previously a bounty hunter. How do you feel about Johnny and Yosaku?
How do I feel about what?
Johnny and Yosaku, those two guys. You know, you were with you in facing off Arlong.
They were great companions. Good people. They'll always be.
Yeah.
My Nakama.
Yeah. Alright. How do you feel about your captain?
My captain?
Yeah.
He's a bit dopey.
Yeah.
He's a bit stupid sometimes.
Yeah.
At the end of the day, he's my captain.
Yeah. Alright, who's stronger out of you and Sanji?
Yeah, Sanji.
Yeah.
Are you actually comparing Sanji to Zoro? That's difficult. You know, that's what he's good at. Yeah? This is Zoro, the world's greatest player.
Apart from Miho, of course. I heard you sounded beat.
One day, eventually, I will defeat Miho too. To take his title.
Alright then. How about let's see. What the fuck? Yeah, how does it feel to finally cut Steel? And by cut Steel, you cut Mr. One. That's Bones.
To be honest, I was surprised at the fact that you could even cut Steel. But when you believe in yourself, when you put your mind to it, you can cut anything. And one day I will cut Miho.
Is it true you're overprotective of Chopper?
Overprotected of what?
Chopper, the reindeer.
Am I? Who's Chopper?
The reindeer, you know, the guy you're gonna eat.
No, I'm not really overprotected of him.
Oh, okay. Alright, nice talking to you. Oh, hello, Nami. Yeah. First question, how does it feel to be free, to hear that your village is free from the reign of terror of Arlong and that you're free from the Arlong pirates?
It's a great relief. Arlong is a cheating bastard. He lied to me. He told me I had to get all of that money which I could have had.
How does it feel to finally smack the shit out of that marine officer?
It's great, and thanks to Usopp, my father tank is going to have some updates.
Oh yeah, I hear they're calling you a witch after that whole Annie's lobby incident where you tore the shit out of a lot of marines.
Oh yeah, I am a fearless cat burglar.
How do you feel about your captain?
Luffy, he's a bit of an idiot. He eats and spends all of my money, but I have to thank him
So, who's smarter, you or all of the male pirates combined?
Clearly it's me. I am the greatest navigator in all of the moon.
So is it true you have a really sister relationship with Nico Robin?
Yeah, Nico's my sister. I mean, I have a sister back at home, but I don't really get to see her that much, but Nico's always been there for me.
Here you can relate to her a lot.
Yeah, Nico and me have had not the best upbringings in the world.
So, yeah, basically I take it that you're satisfied with being in the Straw Hat Pirates and, you know.
I love being part of the Straw Hat Pirates.